Excuse me. Of course. The world is currently full. Players in queue, 63. It's not bad, though. I'm also checking to make sure my audio levels are fine. Of course. The world is currently full. Players in queue, 63. It's not bad, though. 41, baby. I was kind of worried there because the opening cinema, the audio was coming in stereo, and that doesn't work with me because I'm deaf. Oh, here we go. Oh boy. Next main scenario quest. I know all this already. Alright, so let's hack and go. First, I need to change my character. Belts are gone. Goodbye, belts. Rest in peace, belts. Yep. We just have head, body, hands, legs, and feet now. Fingers and toes. Oh my goodness. We gotta rock with the paladin. Oath gauge unlocked. The oath gauge displays the current strength of a paladin's oath, which increases as auto attacks are performed. A strong oath is required to execute several select actions such as Sheltron, Cover, acquired at level 45, and Intervention, acquired at level 62. and will grow weaker upon using them. Using certain actions will increase the oath gauge. This symbol indicates that the defensive stance Iron Will is in effect, which increases immunity. You can view the job gauge description at any time from the Actions and Traits menu. My boy got Honor Bound and Tenacity. So I guess first off I need to go get some materia melded to this thing. I'm gonna try to run this through as Paladin. So let's go to Mordona, y'all. Come on. Imagine being in the Boja. Look at that. Somebody's attuning. I remember I attuned to this millions of years ago. Guess we're going to the Rising Suns, as per usual. So if I hear a cinematic and for some reason it doesn't kick their voices into my earpiece, I'm going to take the thing out so I can listen to it. Which would be a pain, but all the same. I'm going to do a little trick ski first. Going into my sound, microphone, input device, controller headset, adjust microphone level, microphone status when logged in, microphone status when starting chatter broadcast, audio output, controller headset, switch output device automatically, output to headphones, all audio, enable 3D audio for headphones. I don't have that. All audio. All right. Back at it. We gotta talk to our boy Alpha Node. Alpha Node is feeling the need to take stock. Etros, do you have some time to talk? I would like to gather everyone in Dawn's Respite and together assess the situation in which we find ourselves. Oh, main scenario quest, let's go! Let us take stock of the facts, shall we? The crisis at hand began with the sudden appearance of the ominous towers in a multitude of locations throughout the world. We have since learned that the said structures were brought into being by an organization known as the Telephori. The Telephori's stated purpose is to recreate the final days of eons past, an apocalyptic event that would result in the destruction of all we hold dear. Already have these towers of theirs been the cause of untold suffering. Countless innocents kidnapped and imprisoned, their faith perverted for primal summonings. And unless we find a way to deal with the corruptive aura surrounding the spires, we can't even get close enough to rescue anyone. Those shielded with the blessing of light seem able to resist being tempered at least. But after what happened to Alvarad and Word, we need to be very, very careful about how we proceed. Yet while these threats close to home are of paramount concern, we mustn't lose sight of the situation in Garlemald. As you know, the Temphori are under the leadership of one other delightful fellow, Xenos E. Galvis, the crown prince of our dear Garlemald. To date, he's reclaimed his old, bloody, murdered Emperor Valis and plunged Garlemald into an even deeper pit of chaos. This goes so fast! The capital has probably seen the worst of it. For a good while there, I saw the bloodiest fighting in the War of the Succession, but that has since changed, and in troubling ways. During our reconnaissance, the air was not once rent by the barking of cannons or the cries of discord. 'Twas an eerie fog of silence which did blanket that ruined city. The inhabitants appeared to have been tempered, with narrowly a word spoken. Did they labor to transform the palace into a soaring Ephesus born of nightmares? If they were indeed made thralls, it seems safe to assume that these events, too, were orchestrated by the these words. An army of primals is awful enough, but in light of recent developments, I fear that it's only the prelude to an even greater catastrophe. We need to devise a means to counter this threat, and quickly, before our allies are overwhelmed. We will find a way in Charlian, I'm sure of it. Master Word's comments regarding the final days were curious, to say the least. The forum knows more than it is letting on. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, I'm reading all this. Deal with it. We've just received word from Mistress Kryl. She says that arrangements for your visit has been finalized. Oh yeah. You're to head to Limsa Luminsa and board the next ship bound for Charlian. And on arrival, present yourselves as associates of the students of Baldacin. Come to assist with the order's retention. Recession? Whatever. Words. The arrangements may be settled, but what of your thoughts? They must race at the prospect of returning home after so long. I'm eager to see it, of course I am. We should set off at once. We're going to Charlemagne, baby! We're gonna just rap on the door and be like, hey, Pops, you little piss me off. Then I accompany you to the docks. You need at least one person there to wave and cry and wish you a safe journey. We're on another adventure. Let's go. Moving this thing can be so difficult sometimes. Need to go to Limsa Luminsa. And that sweet, sweet PS5 loading. Boy, here we are. Here we are, Limsa Luminsa. Looks just as good as I remember it. It's very crowded around here. We got, oh boy. I can't wait. Look at all these Reapers. Oh boy. We got this going on. Synchronistic is... It got rhythm, man. I rocks with it. Oh, wait a minute. Shit, okay. Not creepy. Alright, I should probably go to the thing now. There it is, my people. I should have just teleported, but I wanted to take in the sights first. Yeah, you know where the next MSQ thing is. If everybody's chilling. Wait a minute. Bankrupt? Everyone's here, which is good because I've already paid for your passage and the fee is non-refundable. The ship for Charlayan should be pulling into port soon, so please follow me and have all your luggage close at hand.
They've almost finished loading our cargo.
There we go.
We should be ready to depart right on schedule.
Schedule. Alright, I'm glad that the voice acting is working.
Tis nice to have a smooth beginning to one's journey, at the very least.
It's funny. Master Louis Soir came here on a ship very much like this one. And now, years later, the street urchin he befriended that day is bound for his mentor's homeland. With his mentor's grandchildren, no less.
Aye. 'Tis upon reflection that every twist of time's river and fate's whims are brought into sharp relief.
Yeah, what he said.
Thou hast matured much in the intervening years. Wert thou not caught attempting to relieve Master Louis Soir of his purse scant moments after he made landfall upon this dock?
Oh, really? Now that's a tale I'd like to hear.
Put out of it.
Will this be your first visit to Charlayan, Sir Estinian? Sir Estinian?
Are we strangers newly met? Why this stiff formality?
I, merely meant it as a professional courtesy, since we are now colleagues in an official sense.
I'd rather you dispense with the sirs, especially in private company. Or I'll be forced to respond in kind, little Lord Alphino.
You've made your point, Estinian. Painfully well.
Better.
Estinian kind of a dick, but he's a scion, so we love him.
Are you all right, Tataru? You seem positively distraught.
Distraught? Me? Don't be silly. I think it's lovely that they get to see their homeland.
But
it's just, we're trying to thwart the schemes of an army hellbent on destroying the world. And once again, I have to stay behind and worry that this is the last time I'll get to see my friends. I'll hold you to that.
Ah, good. You're still here.
Hori! Coulternay! What brings you all this way?
We're to assist the Maelstrom and the Kobolds with a lunar primal operation, so we thought we'd see you off before heading to the tower. Flamine and the others wish you all a safe journey, and promise that they'll look after things here until you return. We will too, of course. Aye, we, your fellow Scions of the Seventh Dawn, will do our part to ensure the end of the world won't happen on our watch.
We're set to sail.
All aboard for Charlian!
It's time.
Then we must delay no longer. We will contact you the moment we learn aught of value. Wish us luck.
Have a safe journey, and please, please, be careful.
And so you venture forth unto the unknown.
Wait a minute. Is that MX Salt?
Beyond the horizon that cannot be divined.
No, that's Albert.
Undefined and in flux.
Right?
In uncertain times, naught but the simplest words of wisdom will suffice. That which lives is destined to die. Love leads to loss. Every beginning has an end. Treasure every moment, every step of your descent. And there, in the depths where souls and stars rest, find your truth.
Oh boy.
Here.
This is all Realm Reborn stuff.
Think.
It's Hydaelyn's voice.
The day has barely dawned, my fellow earlier riser. Though we're hardly alone in that. Envious of those still sleeping soundly, no doubt.
Weren't they asleep in the very first scene in Realm Reborn?
Called out to you, you say? I've heard nothing myself. In any case, I dare say the sea air will do you good. Why not join the others on deck? Charlian should be coming into view at any moment.
They did something different. They're rigging these things differently because they used to be very, like, I don't know, it just looks a lot better. Like their walking doesn't look so stiff.
truth yet reaches you. I am glad. Hear, feel, think. And thus do we meet face to face at last, my warrior of light, guided by the crystal. After your sojourn in the First, I believe you have your answer. You have gained an understanding of what I truly am, what Eidolon has always been, a primal.
Spoilers, by the way.
Zodiac was created to forestall the apocalypse which threatened the ancient world, and I was brought forth to bind him. Yet 7 times now, those who would orchestrate a return to that bygone era have rejoined a shard to the god I had sundered. The greater his strength grows, the swifter does mine own diminish. The power to draw your mind into the rift betwixt is no longer mine to wield. Yet though it taxes me sorely, I dare not leave these words unsaid. Even bereft of my guidance, you and your companions have accepted the burden of this star's troubled past. A conjunction has begun to form, an intertwining of your time and mine. Wheels shudder and turn. Conflict looms. Monumental. Which will decide the fate of this world and all life upon it. When you truly understand what is at stake, and your journey has prepared you to surmount the insurmountable, then shall I honor the promise made in another time, another age.
Cast your peepers to the fore, folks. Sharlian's just over yonder.
I will not keep you further. Your traveler's heart must yearn to behold this unfamiliar land. We shall meet again, and soon.
Is that a threat? You threatening me? You telling me what to do? Yeah, like the turning, the pivot in place.
Oh, what a fine morning. Oh, still a bit stiff though.
And a good morning to you too. Taken a look at the island already?
Then let's go. Let's go. Might
Hey
still
there.
be room in the prow if we're lucky.
Hey, Par, what's up? Good to see ya. Thanks for stopping by. We're rocking some Endwalker early access right
How are
here.
you doing?
I'm hype as hell right now.
Have arisen.
I've been waiting for this for a minute now.
There she is.
Thank you for asking. How are
Good
you
old
holding up?
Sharlian.
Oh, I see it.
Home. Home at last.
Doing okay.
Well,
Overworked,
maybe not
as
so
per
far.
usual.
we'll manage on our own.
Tis
If
the
we
season.
must.
Tis the season.
You do know you're not alone in this, don't you?
And I appreciate, out of your busy schedule, you took a moment to come by and say what's up. That's really cool.
Forget not the comrades who boarded this ship at your side, I prithee.
They did something with these graphics.
I dig the vibes here, man.
We are ever grateful for your steadfast support.
I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, this is how I do in the other room. I have one streaming room and then another streaming room.
Disembarking into the heart of Sharlayan proper.
I would love to get an overlay on here, but I think this is fine for what it is.
There is no greater concentration of wisdom in all the world. I am confident that somewhere within that center of knowledge and learning, we will find the answers we seek.
Yeah, they definitely stepped up the cinematic quality on this. It's the motherfucking moon! It's the moon!
Sharlayan, the solitary island nation of the northern seas. Where under the watchful gaze of Thaliak, patron deity of scholars, academics hoard all manner of knowledge and secrets. Once, they deigned to accept foreign students into a distant colony maintained in the Dravanian hinterlands. How swiftly they abandoned it once the first Garlean boot set hostile foot on Ala Megan soil. So averse to the prosecution of war, these men of wisdom, your would-be allies.
The old northern empty, old Sharlayan. Nice.
I thought they'd never let us off the ship. What's next then? Entry applications?
Oh, Vax Pass.
Hopefully they find no cause to deny us.
They're hitting them with their rights.
Sharlayan all but severed relations with foreign powers. Those of us without direct ties, myself included, may be refused outright.
'Tis true that, as a nation, Sharlayan only forms trade agreements with a select few neutral countries. But from a practical standpoint, an island cannot afford to be overly strict with its borders, especially not if that island's people are wholly devoted to the accumulation of knowledge. If one submits the proper paperwork, with satisfactory evidence of identity and intent, then foreigners may be granted entry.
May.
Quite. So let us be absolutely clear on these points before we proceed.
Let's get our story straight.
The immigration officer will ask for your affiliation and your purpose of visit. Considering Sharlayan's views on intervention, I strongly suggest we avoid any mention of the Scions. Kral has laid the groundwork for us to act as associates of the students of Baldessian, and our ostensible reason for being here is to aid in their order's restoration.
So we're going to be a bunch of fibbers going into this.
Grahatir, it might expedite our progress should an actual student be seen at the head of our little group. Would you mind leading the way?
Of course. The immigration officers were this way, as I recall. Shall we? Greetings. We've just arrived and are eager to make our way into the city. Would you be so kind as to process our entry applications?
Certainly. I see by your mark you are an Archon.
I am. Grahat here of the Students of Baldesion at your service. I was assigned to an Eorzean survey team, but have returned to assist with the reformation of my order. My associates here will provide additional support.
T-Pose Tuesday on a Friday.
Oh, you know how we do.
Very good. I have paperwork detailing your group and its scheduled arrival for today.
We hitting it. Appreciate you, Sam. Thanks for stopping by.
Some of your companions are also Archons. If you'll step forward, we can process those applications first.
Every day is T-Pose Tuesday if you flex hard enough.
Ishtola rule.
Urianje.
See how it glows. That list is etherically linked with the citizen registry kept in the main repository.
It's the internet. Okay, we get it.
I've confirmed your status as Archons and amended your travel records accordingly. Welcome home. Now, who do we have here?
Alphino Leveilleur.
And Alizé Leveilleur.
We're going to go through every last one of them. Okay. This is why Endwalker is 30%.
Have also been approved.
30% bigger. We're going to check in all the scions.
The streets are abuzz with talk of how House Leveilleur's lord disowned his young progeny. And while such personal circumstances constitute no reason to deny you entry, I urge you to avoid exacerbating your present situation. Times are quite troubled enough already.
We shall keep that in mind.
These last two are not Sharlayan natives, but you will find their credentials are in order. An application was made in advance.
This is fascinating.
Name and occupation?
Ha ha ha. Fuck, I am the champion of Eorzea, bit. Artisan's fine.
Indeed. Your profile describes you as an adventurer, but one also trained in the rather more constructive pursuits of procurement and production. You may enter.
I know who I am.
And you, sir?
Estinian Valeno, formerly of the Order of the Knights Dragoon in Ishgard.
Formerly, at least. And what, pray tell, is your profession now?
If you'll allow me...
Cryle, what up?
My associate is a mercenary, hired for his strength at arms. Surely you are aware of the dangers we often face on our forays into the wilderness.
Mistress Baldesion, if you insist on sponsoring his entry, then so be it.
What? Cryle is Mistress Baldesion?
Desperate times call for desperate measures. I find your choice of company concerning. Be advised that even a single misstep may have severe repercussions for your organization.
I have every confidence in my chosen company, dear and trusted comrades that they are. but I thank you for your concern.
Man, these polite catty beachies.
Croyle, it is good to see you.
Likewise. Long voyage notwithstanding, you all seem none the worse for wear.
They must have did something with
There
the
is
chatters
much to
too.
discuss,
Everything
but
looks
this is
different,
hardly
but
the
better.
place. Let's be on our way, shall we?
Like, am I tripping? Is it because I haven't played this game in a minute? I've been playing old retro games for a minute.
Welcome, friends, to Sharlayan.
As your mercenary, I should hope my welcome includes a generous salary.
Well, I had to say something, Sir Taciturn.
Oh, the fluttering. We fluttering boys. It's real fluttering hours. Look at that. Look at that. We're a little crowded here. Here we are at last, the great city of Sharlayan. You may have noticed some similarities with the Crystarium, yes? In fact, Oh, but we really should let Croyle have her say first. We can continue this conversation at another time. I'm fine, honestly. Better to be waved through with a stern warning than be denied entry, after all. It's always, we have to really dig in. Jesus! No. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm glad I spotted your ship coming into port. The officers were born bureaucrats and sticklers for detail. In any case, you may relax and take a moment to get your land legs back. Horse chestnut weapon coffer. Required level 80, high level 515 weapon type determined by current job class at opening. Cannot be opened or instanced in areas such as dungeons. Oh. Alright, that's the new quest jingle. Croyle keeps the scions with a speculative look. Sweeps the scions. Jesus. I had thought to launch directly into an explanation of what I've learned and how we might proceed. But this is Etros and Estinia's first time in Sharlayan, and for the rest of you, a homecoming that was long overdue. You must have places you wish to visit, and people you're dying to see. Therefore, I propose we postpone our agenda so that you all may have sufficient time to recover from your journey and get your bearings in the city. Once you've settled in, we can reconvene at Baldeaston Apex, blah, blah, blah. 'Tis a fine suggestion. We may not be welcome at Levier Estate as such, but we would like to nose around the neighborhood all the same. I need to read faster. This would be good practice. I'm equally untethered, as it were. There's no particular place that my kin call home. Still, I would not pass up the opportunity to reacquaint myself with the city. Likewise, a quick tour of our old haunts might even yield some useful gossip. The annex was west of the Aetherite Plaza, wasn't it? I shall join you there anon. Yes, we'll see you there. Yo, the real one should be starting talking about anon. Be like, I will meet with you anon. I too have places I would be remiss in not visiting forthwith. By thy leave. What of you, Estinian? My services as a guide are yours for the asking. That won't be necessary. Until we reconvene, I prefer to wander as the wind takes me. But I could... Oh. Well, Raha, would you like to join us then? You've gone for quite a while, and this would be the perfect way to refresh those old dusty memories of yours. Oh, of course, if you will have me. Come, Etros. Charlian awaits. After you, my friend, I am more than content to follow your lead. Gralahatia is now the name. Keep him at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave Gralaha behind by entering a different area, using the Ethernet, or by putting too much distance between you. You can speak with Grahatia and select the option to part ways. If you wish to have Grahatia accompany you again, return and speak to him at the original location. While Grahatia is accompanying you, try speaking with Kryle. Interesting. All set, then let us be on our way. First stop, amusingly enough, will be the Last Stand. It's a cafe on the west side of the harbor. Kryle is now accompanying you. Lead your two companions to the Last Stand and speak with Kryle at the designated location. While you are accompanied, you may encounter conversation points along the way which offer additional topics of discussion. Enter the glowing area and speak with your quest companions to initiate these bonus conversations. Enjoy exploring your surroundings together. Interesting. Alright. So first thing I'm going to do is get accompanied to the Aetherites. Wow, okay. We got a full-on group. Oh, Ethernet. Let's go, let's go. Let's attune this shit. Whew. Old Charlene, new to you. It's a nice spot. Real fancy like. And here we are, the Last Stand. I may have mentioned this before, but although our research into nutrition and food preparation is quite extensive, the average Charlayan tends to regard seasoning and flavor with a certain indifference. How can I put this? The food is, it's bland. As encapsulated by our famous Archon loaf, the prevailing sentiment towards cuisine is dietary value first, and taste a distant second. But there was one pupil at the studium, however, who could stomach the school's insipid meals no longer, so he quit his lessons and poured all of his savings into building a proper eatery. So the Last Stand came to be. It is, as its name implies, the sole dedicated outpost of fine dining in Charlayan, the one and only bastion of the culinary arts in an isle of unotherwise mediocre fare. I seem to recall their burger being hailed as one of the more impressive items on the menu. Not that I ever had the pleasure of eating one myself. Because you are a typical Charlayan when it came to cheap and convenient, Raha. But surely Tataru has since taught you how to appreciate a well-prepared dish. We should all stop in when time permits and sample the cafe's delights. Shall we press on? The stairs to the side of the cafe there will take us up to the Aetherite Plaza. Yep, there's the stairs. This is a neat little way for them to show you... Thank you, Yoshi. Yoshi is showing us how to navigate the town. And using this new mechanic and the Aetherites to kind of funnel everybody around. And that's really cool. An unusual shape, isn't it? I assure you, however, it's a perfectly functioning aetheryte. Remember to attune yourself before we move on. Now, being the diligent tour guide that I am, I should make mention of the Confluence, a research facility located on this very plaza. Its much vaunted discoveries are the reason Charlayan stands at the forefront of teleportation technology. In deciphering the underlying principles of Allegan aetherites, it allowed us to understand and reconstruct what was essentially a lost art. And off we go to our next destination. Our path leads northwest to the Agora, Charlayan's largest marketplace. Alright. Oh, wait a minute, hold up. So, let's take a look-see here. First, we're going to discard this. We don't need it. We're going to pop this because it's fun. We're having fun. Ooh, do I want this as a paladin or a gunbreaker? Paladin. We got to go with the gimmick. We got to go with the gimmick. Hydurium shield, Hydurium sword. Let's go. Yeah, it looks hot. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty dope. I can rocks with that. Market board. Do you mind if I browse the shelves for a moment? There might be some hidden gems I've yet to read. Only a moment? How optimistic. Feel free to browse all you like, but we won't wait around for you. Perhaps I'll return here later then. Oh, the markets. I always did look forward to seeing what new wares they had on offer. These little open-air bookstores are so uniquely Charlayan. I always thought them a common sight until I visited other nations. You've attuned yourself to the aetherite, then let's continue on to the Agora. Up here we go. We're in the marketplace, I think. Oh. Oh, okay. I can't wait to become Sage and or Reaper. This is all handing crap stuff. Yeah, let's repair all. Welcome to the Agora, where you can find wares made in Charlayan as well as a wide selection of imported goods. They also used to sell questionable prototypes from the various research institutes, but I think that practice has thankfully died out for the most part. Otherwise, I could think of no better place to stock up on your next big adventure. Am I overselling it? On a more serious note, the next stop on our tour is one which has particular relevance to our ultimate purpose here. We must head back to the Aetherite Plaza, follow the path north, then climb the stairs up to that imposing building at the very top. Alright, we're going up the steps. Yeah? What did they say, going up the steps, right? See, it looks pretty. Do I want it to fix the camera every time? Let me try see. Let me see something. Yeah, whatever. Oh, look, it's Santa! Santa's here! Hi, Santa! The grand structure before you is the Rostra. The name refers to the original public platform erected here, upon which a forum of elected representatives would deliver or words and debate policy. Although the stage has since evolved into council chambers, the nature of the forum and the duties of its members remain largely unchanged. Am I boring you, Raha? You seem awfully distracted. My apologies. From here, one can only see the entire city spread out below. The vista put me in mind of my arrival in the first. Those who had gathered at the Crystal Tower asked me how they might go about building a new home. Naturally, my answers were all inspired by my knowledge of the finest settlement I could think of, the great city of Charlayan. And bit by bit, those few buildings grew into a town, a community, the Crystarium. I can almost see its echo. I see. Feel free to come up here whenever you wish. I don't think the counselors would object to you simply enjoying the view. Such memories should be treasured. For now, however, the tour must go on. Our spectacle of sightseeing concludes with the fittingly named Journey's End. Walk down the stairs to the east and continue straight ahead. Oh yeah. Not bad. Also kind of looks like where Alexander was. By Idle Shower. Yeah? Ethernet shard, baby. Going down the stairs. We've arrived at Journey's End. History tells us that this was where those who put ashore with Archon Neonkref built their first homes, whatever. In the present day, it serves as the residential district for the most important officials in the oldest Charlayan families. You'll see that one mansion is clearly larger than its neighbors. That estate belongs to our friends from House Levier. All things considered, we should probably keep our distance for the time being. And with that, we bring our little Charlayan tour to a close. I hope it has proven to be an entertaining and enlightening experience. Now, shall we head directly into the they've said this name, but I can't say it. Baldestian Annex? You remember the way, don't you, Raha? Let me think. We head down towards the harbor, cross the bridge to our right, and then follow a path towards the Aetherite Plaza? Correct, after you, Etros. Yeah, I still don't remember. Did I hit all these Aetherites? No, I did not. To Levier Estate. I'm gonna go exploring actually. Journey's End. I got that, I think. They should show you if you've tagged them or not. Whatever. Like, make it an outline. Yeah, Yoshi P. Hit me up. I got ideas. Holy, what the hell? What are you? Scary. Nothing scares me anymore. I'm the warrior of light. There we go. There's the bridge. Right, we crossed the bridge here, as I recall. Stick to the path and be careful not to end up back in the Aetheryte Plaza. Charlayan is full of educational and research institutions, but there are still professors who prefer to establish their own private practices. Not that I've ever attended the exclusive schools they run in these residences. Perhaps the twins could tell you more about them. Have I tired you out with all this walking? Not to worry, I had rooms prepared for you at the Annex. Just follow the path to the west side of the Aetheryte, and we'll be there in no time. Ah, good old Annex. I used to bunk there whenever I had business in the city proper. Like the time I came to submit the thesis for my Archon qualification. Let's go. Crossing the bridge. Retainer, Skywalker, Skywatcher. A little crowded here. Look at all these Reapers. I want to be a Reaper. As the joyous look on Raha's face has undoubtedly informed you, this is the Baldessian Annex. If you continue up the hill, you will arrive on the doorstep of Phenomenon, but I think we've explored enough for one day. We can take you here another time. Inside with you then. Oh, hold up. Spicy. Wait a minute. I'm back and I brought Etros and Raha with me. That's a Final Fantasy IV song. Ah, so you're right about the ship then. Hello, Graha. It's nice to see you again. And it's a pleasure to finally meet you, Etros. I've heard many a tale of your exploits. Okacha Tunasino? Yeah. Allow me to introduce Onika Wordsworth, Administration Officer for the students of Baldessian. He oversees the day-to-day business of the Annex. You may recall its meeting his cousin Igaja. Oh yes, Eureka. I've read the initial reports. Quite a shock to hear what's become of the Isle. Do take care if you have the opportunity to rejoin the expedition. Oh my goodness, they're talking about Eureka, y'all. This place is like our second home for the students. The Isle of Val served as our main headquarters, of course, but we often had occasion to visit Charlayan. Whether make use of the city research facilities, attend conferences, or procure, blah, blah, blah. And the Annex here was built to provide the lodgings for our members while we engaged in such activities. Ever since our former headquarters, along with the Isle itself, vanished, the Annex had served as our base of operations. And yet it feels so empty. With so many lost to us, the organization is a shell of its former self. That's kind of meta. The day will come when we see the students rise again. He's looking right at us. Kryl. But first we must endure that telefoil fail, whatever. Through that door on the left, there is the main hall where we can discuss our options moving forward. Once everyone arrives, that is, you can probably have time to rest before our discussions begin in earnest. I had private quarters prepared for you in the Andron, so please feel free to make yourself at home. Ah, the nap rooms, perfect for an afternoon doze. Oh, I didn't mean to give you the wrong impression. The chambers are quite well appointed. Far more so than the cheap roadside inn, you may be assured. 'Twas simply that we were often so busy with research or exhausted from journeys abroad that we would slip into the Andron just to steal a few winks. And thus they became known amongst the students as nap rooms, even if many such naps might last well into the following morning. Say the word and I'll be happy to show you the chamber. Hopefully the others won't be too long in coming. I'll wait for you all in the main hall. It's a little crowded in here. There they are. That's a f***ing sage. Speak with Carl in the main hall. Okay. Oh, this is nice. Look at this room. Is that Siren? No, that's Garuda. What we got going on here? Great King Mog. Yeah. Aw. Look at the little Moogles coming down. There's a map of a Orzia. Loading screen. Crystal Tower, maybe? The cube. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff right here. Beast Tribe. Aziz La. That's a Crystal Tower, I think. World map. Nice. Feeling refreshed and alert, our colleagues should be wandering in soon, so I suggest we stay here and wait for them to join us.
Pray forgive me. I was delayed.
It's fine, Oriange. We're all here now.
Let's get down to business then, shall we?
To defeat the Huns.
Come what may, we must prevent the Telophorois' plans from coming to fruition. At present, I see two paths for gathering the information which may aid us in achieving that goal. The first involves an investigation into the change which has come over Sharlayan, not to mention the recent inscrutable behavior of the Forum. As most of you know, the 99 members of the Forum are elected from the general populace. This alone guarantees a plethora of opinion with regards to foreign policy. The bibliotheques, for example, are a group of conservatives which would have Sharlayan focus on recording history, while remaining entirely uninvolved in the making of it. And at the other extreme, we have advocates for proactive diplomacy and direct intervention. My grandfather Galef was one such member.
Galef!
As was Archon Louisois.
Galef, name drop, babe! New Final Fantasy name drop.
Despite our diverse factions and philosophies, the recent vote to deny Eorzea's request for assistance was unanimous. Even more concerning was the fact that many cited other, more pressing duties as justification for their recalcitrance.
Recalcitrance? What?
Fortuno's refusal in Gridania had those same undertones. 'Twas as if, having stared unblinking into the face of impending doom, it simply turned away to pursue something more important. But what could that possibly be?
A mystery indeed, and one which I ask for your help to solve. Our future may depend on it. As for our second potential path, it concerns a request made directly to the students of Baldessian. Our organization was founded primarily to study strange and unexplained phenomena the world over. Mysterious relics and ruins, arcane disturbances, and so forth. Compared to our more isolationist Sharlayan colleagues, we have strong connections overseas, namely with scholars and academics who share our passion for the unknown. The request in question comes from one such acquaintance, Nadana, an alchemist residing in distant Favner.
Alchemist!
Her missive describes the sudden appearance of a tower, and the subsequent summoning of what I can only assume is a lunar primal.
We gotta go slay some primals,
In
y'all.
response to this threat, the Satrap of Radzat-Han, the individual who governs the city-state, has instructed the alchemists to find a means to deal with the spire.
The artisans of that land are heirs to an ancient tradition, one rather unlike that of their Uldan counterparts. 'Tis possible, nay, probable, that they have gleaned truths unattainable by Eorzea or her Far Eastern allies.
They do, in fact, appear to have a strategy in mind, though it will require further research. To that end, they have requested an introduction to a capable warrior shielded by the blessing of light.
That's me.
Assuming we divide our forces to pursue both of Kral's lines of inquiry, then having you join the group heading to Thavnair would seem the obvious choice. But the investigation in Sharlayan is of vital importance as well. Equal, I think, to the Thavnairian one, given that the fate of the world may hinge on the results of both.
Yes, it is quite the quandary. Though it is a great imposition and an altogether too common one, our efforts would be more likely to succeed were you to lead the charge on both fronts.
Of course.
You are indeed our champion. As to which task to tackle first, we will defer to your decision. Let us next decide how everyone else might best be assigned. As for myself, I shall continue what I've begun in Sharlayan. I should also like to steal the services of an Archon or two.
Archon, that's how you say it. Archon.
And thereby gain access to a greater range of reading material. I will help with that.
Allow me to offer my assistance. I have some small amount of experience in the field of research.
Alice and I would also like to help, if you would have us.
Anything to understand even a fraction of what our father and the Forum might be thinking.
Of course, the more the merrier.
Right. The rest of us will make the journey to Thavnair. Thoughts? Objections?
Thouest thee
I
thy.
passed through Thavnair on my way to infiltrate the Empire, and though I'm not qualified to give a guided tour, I did gain a sense of where things lie.
I'll be happy to have you along then. So for this group, it will be you, me, and Urianger.
Give me a moment afterwards, and I'll supply you with all the details of Nadana's request. Consider this hall our rendezvous point once our respective tasks are complete. May our investigations prove fruitful.
Pray, go to the Waking Sands. This is the new Waking Sands 2021, baby. New Waking Sands hype, let's go. Let's. Okay, looking pretty dope there. Drip on point. Is that a little green tint to it? Yeah. We're doing aight. Drip on lock. Let's go. Krile is intent on uncovering the reason behind the Forum's inexplicable behavior. An unsettling change has come over the Sharlayan, but together we will divine the underlying cause for the Forum's callousness. As I mentioned before, however, questioning the counselors directly is a fruitless endeavor. They seem to have already come to a consensus as to what and how little they are willing to divulge, which is why I began scouring Charlayan's archive of historical records for any hint of a connection to the final days. Suffice to say that progress has been slow. There are only so many ways dusty pages one can skim in a day. But now that I have this band of willing reinforcements, the search should proceed all the swifter. Let us reconvene outside Noeumenon. Exit the annex to the right, and you'll find the archives on the western edge of the woods. Yo, can we do both? I have Kral's instructions in hand. If you're ready to set out, then so are we. Have you been to Thavnair before? I can travel by Aetheryte, but what if the rest of you? Another sea voyage would waste time we do not have. Kral was of the same mind, and has already secured the aid of the good folk of Confluence. We'll take ourselves there. The Confluence, thou saith. I'm afraid so, my friend. Uh-oh. He's having a problem. He's got drama. Thou wilt recall the hunt for Iceheart, unto whose sanctuary we delivered thee, owing to the knowledge of our comrade Moenbria. Moenbria was an authority on atheology, a field of study she did embark upon in pursuit of her parents' example. Both are authorities in their own right, and both are researchers at the Confluence. Haven't you gone to see him yet? I attempted to do so earlier, but to my shame, my courage failed me at the last, as it hath the many times I thought to reach out to them after sending that fateful letter. Neither time nor introspection have revealed unto me the words I should speak, and thus I have kept my silence. So eloquent. Whether you come with us or no, it's your choice and yours alone. If it is too difficult, we'll manage. Though are kind to say so, but I have no intention of forsaking our cause. I shall go to the Confluence, and I shall face that which hath been long been overdue. It is settled. Let us be off. When we arrive, we should look for a researcher named Kaiti. Yeah, it's going to be a minute before I get the pronunciation of all these names right. Alright, so I could take both quests, that's fine. Happy for my boys. I love the Kings. Valdesian Annex. Alright, we got a lot of questy boys going on. But first, I'm going to make sure I'm fully attuned. Would be a shame if I didn't do quests along the ways. The waiting woman sighs with patience. How long must I wait? Oh, forgive me, I was just thinking out loud. I made plans to meet my paramour, you see, but the time of our rendezvous is long past. As a member of the Forum, his work keeps him ever so busy, even more so than usual in recent days. Still, he promised he would put some time aside for me, for us. I don't suppose your wanderings will take you anywhere near Nuncref's site today, will they? I need someone to check if he's there while I stay here, just in case. Thank you ever so much. My tardy sweetheart is an Ari man, brown hair, serious mind, mean. Should you happen to spot him, pray convey the state of my rapidly mounting impatience. Beavis. No way. Are you familiar with the Wandering Minstrel? The tales he spins never fails to engage and enthrall. What I wouldn't give to receive a masterclass in storytelling from the minstrel himself. Ha 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 ha. Attune ourselves. What's going on over here? My directions were easy enough to follow, I hope. In any case, you should stand now before the doors of No Umenon, Charlayan's grandest collection of books and tombs. This building is actually only an entrance, and one of many that, for the archives of Noumenian extend deep beneath the surface like the roots of a tree. The vast halls of the great Gubal Library pale in comparison to the No Umenon's endless maze of subterranean chambers. Any citizen of Charlayan is free to enter and pursue its shelves, while most of its shelves, only archons are afforded access to certain restricted vaults. I've dispatched Yastola and Raha to investigate those. Meanwhile, Alizé and Alphanode will help me continue my search through the stacks open to the general public. Your status presents more of a problem. As a non-citizen, you are only permitted to browse the first floor here at the entrance. Even so, there should be a number of books which touch upon the Charlayan history on foreign policy. Your task will be to find and study the relevant publications. I promise you, a working knowledge of those subjects will make it far easier to spot the sort of clues we're looking for. Let us be about it, shall we? I told the others to meet us at the stone benches over there once they found some promising tomes. Happy reading. Bro, we are reading books! Expansion hype! We reading books today. Let's go. I need somebody to say the name of this spot out loud so I cannot say it dumb. The title on the spine reads, The Story of Charlayan. Long, long ago, on an island in the northern sea, there lived a Rogadan man by the name of Nunkiev. Nunkiev was a student of astrology, and he divined that a flood of terrifying proportions would soon sweep over the lands of Eorzea. So it was that he built a gigantic ship, assembled a crew, and set sail for that imperiled realm. The flood arrived as foretold, and to their horror, the strangely churning waters drove the people towards the ocean. It was there, however, that Nunkief's crew hauled them aboard his ark. But the danger had not passed. A towering wave approached, threatening to smash the vessel to pieces. With only moments to spare, Nunkief wove a mighty spell of teleportation and shifted the entire ship to safety atop Albatha's spine. Refugees from the surrounding regions huddled there alongside them, but it was not long before disputes over the dwindling supply of food led to violence and bloodshed. Saddened by the sight, Nunkief gathered to him his crew and his grateful passengers and abandoned the ark to those reddened peaks and journeyed to the coast where they built a new ship, intent upon returning to the northern seas. They landed on the beach of an island and settled upon that very spot. That settlement prospered and grew in time it became the city of Charlayan we live in to this day. Nice. We're getting the exposition dump real quick. The title on the spine reads, Roads of Old, the Colony. Many years ago, on the banks of the Thalic and the Davinian hinterlands, a Charlayan colony once thrived. This settlement was originally established as a mere outpost to study the ethereal sea in the year 1311 of the Sixth Astral area. Sixth Astral era. Jesus. Scholars dispatched to Eorzea found the facilities wanting, and their demands encouraged a gradual expansion in structures and services. As rumors spread of a growing community of academics, the area was further inundated with Eorzean students hoping to share in the renowned wisdom of the Sharlayans. 50 years later, the Forum passed a motion to recognize what had become a flourishing town as an official Sharlayan colony. Eorzean residents took to calling the colony itself Sharlayan, which led to no small amount of confusion when discussions turned to the subject of the motherland. In response, some Sharlayan inhabitants, if pressed for a name, would simply refer to it as Emporium. The following great exodus, however, goblins and treasure hunters claimed for themselves a corner of the abandoned colony and gave it yet another name, Idleshire. I knew it! Knew it! The following chapters go on to introduce the most prominent features of Idleshire. This book does not appear to contain any additional information on the Forum or cover the history of the Sharlayan motherland in greater detail. Interesting. Is that motherfucking... Is that... What up? What up? What up? Hey, hey, hey. Let me look at you. Let me look at you. Let me look at you. Yeah, what up? What up? What's up, little... Oh, what's up, girl? Hey, hey. Yeah, we hanging out. We hanging out today. Oh, what's going on? No, no. Oh, oh. What are you doing? What are you doing? Aw. Ran away. Let's see, who we got? Who we got? Who we got? Gaia do be... She do be fine, though. Scree! Where's Kev at? There you are. Hey. Looks just like him. Alright, back to business. We out here reading books. Endwalker. The title on the spine reads, The Voice of a Growing City. In the years which followed the founding of Sharlayan, civic policy and other matters of import were decided at the XiV, a public forum at which every citizen was eligible to speak. As the city's population grew, however, this format became increasingly impractical. The larger number of participants gave rise to ever longer debates, resulting in significant delays of vital resolutions. Various measures were introduced in an attempt to curtail protracted discussions, but in the year 201 of the 6th astral area, it was ultimately decreed that the Sharlayan would transition to a new form of governance. The nation would now be led by a body of 99 members, citizens chosen from amongst their peers by means of a nationwide vote. Thus was the Forum as we know it today conceived and created. Sounds like democracy. America. An introduction to the heavens. Let's read. Have you ever gazed at the skies above and contemplated the mysteries contained therein? I speak not of the shifting cloud patterns, but of the vastness beyond, of the sun and the twinkling tapestry of the night. Some think the dome above us to be a finite space. Yet amongst the leading thinkers of our age, one scholar's depiction of a boundless sea of stars has firmly taken root. Alas, this heavenly sea remains an unreachable, unknowable destination. There are few indeed who can explain in satisfactory detail why our own star is believed to revolve around the sun. It was the technologists of Alig who came closest to understanding the laws which govern that starry abyss. It was they who launched Dalamud and sought to expand beyond our earthbound existence. Having read of their ancient ambitions, I wonder, has your interest in this field of study waxed or waned? What if I were to tell you that the eternal constellations were arranged differently in the distant past, that their positions continue to shift amongst imperceptibly, but measurably as we journey into the future? Would it shock you to learn that the stars drift further and further and further apart, and may indeed do so forever? Are you eager to learn more? This sounds like some, what's his name, Neil deGrasse Tyson stuff. This book is on the wrong subject. Search for works that contain details on the forum or mention history of Charlayan. But that was pretty informative, though. That was dope. I'm with it. Forever 20 Summers. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it, but I want to read it anyway. My beloved seekers of knowledge, have you ever put learning before your health and neglected to feed and rest your body as you should? I, too, once engaged in such foolish practices, but one night, engrossed in philosophical study, I had an epiphany. For all the world's mysteries that drive us to reckless abandon, we have so very few years of life in which to achieve our goals. Thus, I do share with you this mantra: I am forever 20 summers young. The number itself is unimportant. You could be 19 or 23 or 40, whatever your age you are when you discover this manual, let it be the age you aspire to remain. Though mindful, healthy living, you will extend the time available to spend upon your chosen research. Another day, another moon, another summer to grasp the greater truths you pursue. In the pages that follow, I will explore the secrets of maintaining one's physical condition from a biological, aetherological, and arcane viewpoint. Arcane! Arcane! This book is on the wrong subject. Yeah. But it was still 20 summers. We are 20 summers young, boys. Stewards of Wisdom. Let's go. During the chaos of the Sixth Umbral Calamity, Archon Nuncrif, founder of Charlayan, bore witness to the madness and savagery of men brought to the brink of despair. Upon raising a settlement on an island in the northern empty, he instructed his people thus: renounce the ways of war and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason. The Charlayans took to heart the words of their savior and thenceforth served as stewards of wisdom. Upon a foundation of accumulated learning, they built a homeland unlike any other, a nation born from strength of minds rather than strength of arms. With knowledge of economics came shrewd trading. With knowledge of architecture became bountiful crops. Engineering brought wells and sewers, ending squabbles over water. Wealth of expertise could be bartered for wealth in coin, and the more their wisdom spread throughout the world, the more mankind as a whole would thrive. And so it was that, no matter the trials and tribulations of the age, the citizens of Charlayan would live by their founders' teachings. For the sake of a better tomorrow, and for sake of a brighter star, they would eschew the tools of war, and with knowledge deliver the world. You have gained a fundamental understanding of Charlayan history and the foundation of the Forum. Head outside to the rendezvous point and await your companions. Yo, we just sat here, read some books. We got booked the fuck up. We booked out. We be reading out here. We be out here reading. Exposition Dumpskis. It was a little bit more crowded before the cinema. I wanted to make sure I borrowed at least a few promising volumes. Alphinaud and Kral should be here along shortly. I was delayed in a similar fashion. As far as I could see, no titles in the Archon stacks mention the final day specifically, so we have no choice but to start with the tangentially relevant tomes, if they are even that. At present, the plan is to skim through as quickly as we dare and share our discoveries as we make them. It would have been nice to invite everybody to the estate, plenty of comfortable places to read, and a supply of hot tea, ready supply of hot tea. Oh, I was always quite fond of reading outside, but it is not about the little pleasures, is it? You miss your home. It's been difficult. After our arrival, we managed to speak with one of the family servants and ask how things were. It seems our dear father has instructed the staff that even if Alphinaud and I were to return to Charlian, we are not to be allowed across the threshold. A harsh measure indeed. I hope that our efforts to understand his position and that of the Forum will perhaps lead to a reconciliation. We'll mend this rift one day, I'm certain of it. And what of you, Graha? Have you been to visit your family, or do they not live here in the city? Well, my situation is somewhat complicated. I was raised in Charlene, yes, but I was born rather further away. In the southern reaches of Islabard, in fact. For generations, my people have dwelt in Corvos, a coastal region opposite the island of Thavnir. The Alligans founded a city in that fertile land, and by ship brought in the subjugated tribes of the Makote to serve as laborers. Yikes! Of course, the massive earthquakes of the Fourth Umbral Calamity brought an end to the Empire's reign, and when the Fifth Calamity froze the sea solid, many of the tribes still living in Corvos braved the journey back to Eorzea. My ancestors, however, chose to remain that they might prevent the remnants of Allagan technology from being misused. Isn't Corvos under Garlean rule? For the past 50 years, yes. Some semblance of local culture remains, as is the case for most imperial provinces, but the Garlemen renamed the region Locus Vedabetis. When I was a boy, a nearby town came under the jurisdiction of an illustrious imperial family, the nobles of House Darnus. That means something? House Darnus demonstrated a singular interest in Allagan civilization, and so my tribe was forced to consider a plan of action. For some time already, voices had been raised in favor of abandoning our ancient customs after all. The Allagan eye no longer passed to our eldest children as reliably as it once had. Fear of discovery eventually tipped the scales, and the decision was made to bury our ties with the knowledge and traditions of Allag. As the last child born of the Allagan eye, I was given over to the custody of friends and the students of Baldessian, who had me registered as a Charlene citizen. I never reconsidered. Forgive me, it was an unkind question. Even Thancred was taken in by Archon Louis Sois, was he not? Stories of adopted waifs and rescued orphans are more common along Charlanes than you might think. Yet regardless of our origins, we're all provided with an equal opportunity to learn, and with sufficient words, we outsiders can even earn the vaunted title of Archon. 'Tis exactly why I have such love for this country, and why I wish it to remain a nation of which its citizens can be proud. Hear, hear, another good reason to get to the bottom of the Forum's stubbornness, aside from the trifling matter of our impending doom. Excuse us while we try to make some headway into these books, Etros. More company should be arriving any moment now. Should I change my name? Etros is kind of weird. Etroses. Oh boy, that was a bunch of familiars popping up. We've returned with our selections. Although I must say the pickings were quite slim indeed. Mistress Krell had already flicked through every history book devoted to disasters, and more than a few which barely made mention of them. As such, we will be looking into research papers on the Umbral Calamities, as well as articles written by the prominent Forum members. Perhaps their knowledge of the final days comes from an unexpected source. Speaking of which, might I ask you a few questions related to the final days? I am the only one here who didn't witness the events of Amarat firsthand, and I fear I may be overlooking critical details. My thanks. Now, where to begin? Exposition dump. Here we go. First things first, what kind of phenomenon did the ancients encounter as the final days drew nigh? A complete destabilization of creation magics? Primals of unrivaled power were summoned from the aether? The worst kind of phenomenon you can imagine. Let's go with destabilization. Yes, the unfolding catastrophe wrought havoc on all manner of life. The chaos extended to the ancients themselves, causing their powers of creation to spiral out of control. Fear and despair manifested in terrible, tangible fashion. Meteors raining from the sky, fire erupting from the ground, indescribable abominations prowling the streets. That more or less aligns with my understanding. If only the arts of creation had survived until the present day, we might have had something substantial to analyze. To the best of our knowledge, however, those techniques were not preserved or passed on. Yestola surmises that the closest known magics is that of the summoning rituals promulgated by the Asians. What there aught else of note which heralded the approach of the final days? The entire star was engulfed by disaster all at once. They say it began with the keening sound from the land itself. Alphanode, you can answer this one. Let's go with the entire star. I think you may be misremembering. As I recall, 'twas more of a gradual spread. The Almorantians spoke of a keening sound that rose from the land itself just before a region that was visited by catastrophe. We never did hear this sound ourselves, of course, thrust as we were into the midst of madness. So the ground was crying out, you say. To be considered the harbinger of doom, it must have been quite distinctive and probably quite loud. I'll have to speak with one of the new Noeumenun's mammoths and ask after any books that make mention of such a sound. Last but not least, could you describe how the ancients sought to quell this unprecedented calamity? What definitive action did they take? They summoned Zodiark, they summoned Hydaelyn, they knocked Dalamud from the sky. Well, they summoned Zodiark, really, actually. I think Zodiark. Yes, with Oedipus serving as his heart, so many gave themselves in sacrifice to bringing him into being. We do not know exactly how Zodiark brought salvation to the star, only that by his godlike will were the laws of nature set aright. Then, once the balance was redressed, the ancients offered up a further sacrifice to heal the ravages of the final days. Lives sprouted anew, and it was these fleeting souls they intended to render unto Zodiark, a trade that would have allowed them to resurrect the shades of loved ones absorbed by the primal. Or might have, had Vanette and her followers not manifested their opposition in the form of Hydaelyn. Thank you, both of you, for the detailed review. I feel much more confident in my understanding of events. This is not for you, Kryl. This is for us. With all that freshly in mind, it does make me wonder what the Telephori truly mean when they speak of bringing back the final days. We've seen what they're doing with those towers of theirs. Is forcing people to summon primals kind of a catalyst? Are they attempting to mirror the conditions caused by the unstable creation magics? Or are they simply using the final days as a figure of speech, a convenient metaphor for the scale of destruction they plan to unleash? But this is all just pointless conjecture at this stage. Let us return attention to the forum, shall we? We should keep an eye out for Yestola, but this time we began studying these research. But 'tis the time we began studying these research papers. We got a lot of info dumps coming up. I'm the last. Am I? Well, my extended search of the Archon stacks produced one or two possibly useful books. But I wouldn't get your hopes up. If you recall, Urianger learned of the sources of reflections from the Juran oracles, from the potential to cause panic confusion. The tome was deemed apocalyptica and sealed away in the Great Gubal Library. 'Tis even less likely the knowledge of the unsundered world, not to mention the horrors of the final days, would be left sitting on a shelf for any curious scholar to find. It stands to reason, then, that my colleagues, be they archons or counselors, should perforce by larger. Yet that when you confronted Master Forchenault of the knowledge of the Temporary and the machinations, he scoffed at the suggestion that they pose a threat. He seemed adamant that the Forum would know if the final days were truly upon us. All these words, which only supports the conclusion that whatever privileged wisdom is guiding the Forum's behavior is being kept secret from the rest of the nation. Not that I mean to excuse myself from reading duty. Whether they contain the mention of final days or no, these books could yet hold something of value. You weren't thinking of leaving, were you? There's plenty of work for everyone. We all out here reading books, bruh. We booked out. We illiterate gang. Oh dear, you look exhausted. What about your studies? Were you able to find any books on the subjects I mentioned? Then my day was well spent. Should you wish to read them again, a mammoth at the reference desk will point you in the right direction. For the moment, though, I suggest you take a well-deserved rest. We might be occupied with our research for quite some time. We're getting glammed out. Alizé appears in desperate need of a study break. Stand by. You gotta stay hydrated, boys. Ready for a tea break, Atros? I know I am. Honestly, my neck and shoulders are gonna calcify if I don't stretch my legs and walk around for a bit. Calcify? You know the last stand down in the harbor, do you? Come and meet me near the outside tables, and I'll treat you to their coffee. It's quite good. I like coffee. That's attuned. Yo, look at that thing. Well now, this is rather a lot of stern faces. Are my library books overdue? Not to our knowledge. We're associates of Kral of the students of Valdesian. We seek passage to Thavnir and understand you can assist us. Thavnir. Ah, the test subjects. Welcome, welcome. Test subjects? Oh, you haven't heard? Well then, allow me to explain. So in order to travel to an aetheryte, you ordinarily need to be attuned to it beforehand. Otherwise, you can't use it as a beacon to seek out when you're a mess of aether hurling along the life stream. An inconvenient but incontrovertible limitation of the aetheryte transportation. Oh, whoops. A way to teleport instantly to places you've never been. For long years, we've labored to make such travel possible, that people might move about more freely. We've finally done it. We've created a new kind of aetheryte that doesn't require attunement. How convenient. Truly, that changes everything. Well, my language may have been a bit misleading. The user need not attune to these aetherites, but the aetherites themselves must have been pre-attuned to each other, hereby facilitating travel between the 2 points. But just so happens that our first test pair of aetherites, one has been installed here in Charlayan and the other over in Yildiman, a port town in Thavnir. As you may know, our nation has long maintained strong ties with the Raz at Han, and indeed we owe much of this breakthrough to the contributions of their alchemists. So to sum up, we're to test these aetherites. How fortuitous for you. I should mention that an accident has impaired my ability to channel ether. Will this be a problem? Not at all. As a matter of fact, you may say that these aetherites were made for people like your good self. The magic imbued within will whisk you away without any effort on your part. A veritable dream come true, and far be it from me to worry about such things. But do we have permission to make use of your shiny new invention? The only permission required is yours, so assuming you're willing, we're all set. It may come as a surprise, but we actually struggle to find test subjects. Most people seem to have an unreasonable fear of their souls gradually disintegrating as they drift helplessly in the life stream in the strategically unlikely event that something goes awry. But it's plain that you aren't most people. Mistress Kral truly knows how to pick them. If I might change the subject, our Master Wilfson and Mistress... Well, what names? Oh, you didn't hear? They've recently resigned their posts. Their expertise was needed elsewhere. A large-scale project helmed by the Forum itself, as I understand, but I am not privy to the details. I see. Any other questions? No? Then let's get going before you change your minds. Please see to your preparations and head outside to Aetherite Plaza. I'll be along shortly. Yo, I'm drinking pre-workout right now because I'm absolutely insane. Alright, I can play for another hour and then I gotta go do real life stuff.
Just the 4 of you, was it?
3. I'm already attuned to the crystal in Thavnir.
Oh, this is going to be important.
You are? Oh. I would have preferred more test subjects. Oh, well, never mind. If our 3 travellers could line up here, please. Yes, right there is fine. Take a deep breath, and I'll soon have you soaring through the ether.
They're going to kill us. We've traveled between shards. This shouldn't be anything.
Last thing. You might experience a teensy-weensy touch of violent ethereal sickness. Good luck!
What?
It's the echo. I should have known. Ha! Interesting.
Thavnir, home to city-state Rads at Han. Rising from the southeast waters of the Bounty, this Isle of Plenty served as the battleground for a conflict between 2 peoples. Their cultures bled into one another until a unique amalgamation was distilled from the chaos, in a process not unlike their precious alchemy. Once solidified as a single nation, an adamant stance of neutrality would hold invaders at bay. For a time. Now across this vibrant isle creeps a fog of malice. What choice do you have? What chance? Against such an insidious foe.
I had a lot going on in the other town, though.
I've seen fairer faces after a bout of bad shellfish. Let me bring you something to drink. That should help settle your bellies.
What a kind guy. What a good guy.
There was a note with Kryle's instructions. Don't let Estinian roam the markets alone. He's alarmingly bad with coin.
You managed to pull yourself to your feet, but given your condition, were you able to reach Estinian in time? Aether sickness, okay. You there, I need 3 drinks, something that helps with ether sickness. Bought by the Minstrel traveler. I mean, greetings and welcome. You're a wise good sir, come to me. My special armor lassi, made with only the finest and freshest ingredients, is famed for calming unruly bellies. But by way of a warm welcome to Thavnir, I'm pleased to offer it to you for the low price of 19,800 gil. Not for 1, not for 2, but 3 bottles. A bargain amongst bargains. The price is high road robbery, and you want to say as much to a Stydian, but you realize any words of warning you cry out would be accompanied by your last meal. Oh! You must stand before a Stydian and by using gestures deny that the deal is fair. I thought you could barely stand. What do you need to tell me that's so urgent? Wait, I shouldn't buy the lassie. This merchant is swindling me. Wah! Sincerest apology, sir, but I appear to have my prices confused. It is actually 1,890 gil for 3 bottles of lassie. That confusion would have been quite costly for both of us. Very well then. Your coin? Here, a bottle for each of you. Take them to the others and get some rest. I'll be back after I've explored the town. This is funny. This is a lot more interesting than kill 5 things and whatever. Ellipses. Praise be to the 12. My stomach doeth loosen its death grip. My heartfelt thanks to thee and the Stydian, and to the fine fruits of this land. You were in time. Excellent. You spared us Tatar's wrath. Sweet, sweet release! If you hadn't already, you should have yours too. Right, I'm ready to get on with it. That lassie truly worked wonders. Back on your feet, I see. Thy hair. I found it. 'Tis the most I can go against this heat shot of shedding. May I ask where you got the cord for it? A local vendor, a man that said it was Tyvarnian weave, tough and not easily unraveled. And how much did it cost? 9,400 gil, a steal, I was told. 'Tis nothing fancy, but I've always valued function over form. That's incredible. I dare say not even Alphino could hold a candle to you. It's not uncommon for merchants to set their prices high, but doesn't it seem excessive here? All of the Hannish merchants so unscrupulous. I expected the Azure Dragon to put up more of a fight. On that subject, I shall refrain from making comment. Yet I cannot help but observe that the merchants seem overzealous in their pursuit of profit. Claiming Thavnir as its dominion, the nation of Rads Atan hath long thrived as a hub of confluence. In the beginning, there were Askasordara, a Mantanga tribe indigenous to the land. Over time, they came to be joined by other races, and though their intermingling, a culture rich and distinct did emerge. From alchemy to textiles, the products of Hannish culture have come to be celebrated and coveted the world over, a development only aided by the nation's prime location as a waypoint betwixt east and west. All of this hath combined to make a trading power of hand, yet such a status cannot be taken for granted. Nay, it must be maintained through judicious governments and stringent regulation. Neither of which I see any evidence, given that merchants at a gateway town are free to fleece hapless travelers and tarnish the reputation of the nation at large. Just so, that opportunistic pricing is rampant doeth suggest that oversight is much weakened, or mayhap that the people have fallen upon hard times. Whatever the truth may be, 'twould be prudent to discern the current state of affairs. Prudent and practical, eh? We've naught to lose by learning more. So ere we seek Al Kral's acquaintance, shall we see what information we can gather in this town? Excellent. We didn't exactly get off to a flying start, but we make up for it. So should I take this? There's the ether compass. Goodbye. Well, I'm gonna wait. What if I need it? Look at all this shit I got in here. What am I gonna do with all this? There's my belt. Bye-bye, belt. There are my other belts. You can desynthesize them, maybe? I don't know. His stomach behaving once more, Thancred is ready to get to work. Right, let us split up and make inquiries in town, Etros. The pier is yours. Once we have learned what we can, we regroup by the Aetherite. Off-putting, though the mere sight of it may be. Now, this is funny. This is like... It's cute. It's quaint. It's charming. It's like a little bit of Hildebrand, and it works. It's good. Welcome, traveler. That's right, we're open for business again. Can't sit wallowing when there's sales to be made, am I right? So you got any bicolor gemstones you're willing to part with? You now have access to this region's gemstone exchange. Trade bicolored gemstones for a variety of rare and exclusive items. Successfully completing local fates will allow for the safe delivery of goods in the region, increasing the number of items available for exchange. Smart. I don't know what any of this is. Doesn't seem important. I got a lot of gemstones though. So cool. I want to go kill something. If I'm being honest here. Like, do I have new attacks? Got none of these yet. Performance. Oh, what? The crate is laden with fruits, but they are on the verge of spoiling, as if they have been left too long. Oh, look. Is that Butts? Is that Butts' costume? Gazing out from the pier, you spy boats moored off nearby isles, with the silhouettes of larger seafaring vessels farther away. Compared to the other ports you have visited in the past, there appears to be very little activity. I'm not even going to attempt that name. Dinjalil. What am I doing? Oh, recording my sales. I still do it daily out of habit, though. I don't know why I bother. Hardly sell anything these days. Business has never been this terrible, but I suppose things could be even worse. I could have a consortium to keep afloat like Kalzal. I don't envy his position. Better to be alone with my little operation, I've come to realize. You're a traveler by the looks of you. If you have a moment, perhaps you could pay Kalzal a visit. He'll be glad for tidings from abroad. Like as not, you'll find him at the Salt Wind Sails, the Harbor Guild building across the water from here. Looking around. I was actually distracted by the controller. It was rumbling at me. Well now, if it isn't a traveler, you're a rare sight in these unsettled times. I don't know, there's like a bunch of us around here. People have been giving us a wide berth since that accursed tower suddenly appeared on Naruniar. If it just stood there and loomed ominously, perhaps things would be fine after a fashion, but no, it had to spawn fell fiends as well. We still have our lives thanks to the radiant host, but business is as good as dead. What will become of us? Only the gods know. So because of the towers, everybody's like strapped for cash. So that's why they're trying to like get as much money as they can. I guess that makes sense. Let me attune to this etherite. Have I done that yet? Yeah. See what's in this building. The Dalmaskins aren't coming, but we already have everything they ordered. What are we supposed to do with it? I don't know, but yelling at me isn't going to help. All I know is that their plans have changed, and that's that. Look, you mustn't have known this might happen. The Empire is at war with itself, and the provinces are in chaos. And then there's the tower sitting on our doorstep, spitting out monstrosities. The city has its defenses, but we've been afforded no protection out here. We can't blame foreigners for not wanting to take the risk. God, but this will be an enormous loss. Alright, forget about the Damascans. Surely some ships are still coming. We have fresh produce, handcrafts, medicines, all the perennial Hannish favorites. Our consortium works closely with the merchants and artisans to supply only the finest wares. Quality is guaranteed. I know all these things, Kazal. I do. Which is why I regret to say I have nothing for you. All voyages have been canceled or indefinitely postponed. Wow. And you are? Wait, you're a foreigner, are you not? A merchant? Please tell me you're a merchant. I see. That's a shame. I'm sorry, but we're discussing important matters. If you need something, please talk to one of the others. Excuse me. My name is Matsia, and I'm here to see Oh, he seems busy. I'll come back later then. We're just trying to give him a sail. If foreign vessels won't come to us, why use our own to deliver the wares to them? It's not so simple, Khazal, and besides, everyone's in the same boat. Everyone. Man, we touching on some like serious socio-economic issues here. Yeah, but look at that though. Hold up. Hold up. Yes, can I help you? I remember seeing you back in the guild. You wanted to speak with Khazal too, didn't you? I'm Masya, a fisherman of Akai, a nearby village. Kali. I sell my catch to Khazal, who offers it to foreign merchants, but he hasn't bought anything for a while now. When I heard that the consortium has been struggling, I became worried and decided to come see him. Just as soon as he's free, anyway. He's a hard-working man, and I dare not disturb him. What do we got here? We're getting all of our gear. Slowly but surely, I'm getting all this new gear. Matsia regards you nervously. If I may ask, what is it that you do? I kill gods. I'm on like a different level. An adventurer, you say, and you travel the world helping people. Then that must mean you're great at dealing with strangers. Please, won't you teach me to be like you? You see, I brought some fresh fish with me, the portion I couldn't preserve, and I want to sell them. The problem is, I'm terrible with people, and I've only ever dealt with Khazal, and I can't talk to customers without getting my trunk in a twist. So please, as silly as it might sound, will you not pedal the fish in my steed and show me how it's done? If you're willing, please let me know, and we can begin at once. The events that follow cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending duty fighter registrations. I got a half hour. But what if I start doing something else? Like, there's a lot other stuff going on, right? I'm gonna speak with Alizé. Damn, how come Old Charlian is so much money? Alright, let's go. I'm already here. You'll do it then? Show me how to deal with customers? I'm in your debt. Right, please try peddling my fish to, shall we say, 3 people here in Yeldamad? I'll observe you and learn. Mastaya is now accompanying you. Keep him at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave Matsia behind by... Yep, just like with the other one. We help elephants with their social anxieties. Yes. Fish, fish, I got fish here. Fresh fish, straight from the sea's bosom to your mouth. Greeting, friend, how fare you of late? Greetings to you too. I suppose I'm well enough given the circumstance. Things have settled down somewhat, but it was utter chaos when that tower first appeared. Everyone grabbing whatever they could, trampling over each other to get to the city. Many remain there for now, but I could not stay away. I had to come back, continue with my life, such as it is. Whether or not it was the right choice, only time will tell. It's too risky out there. Maybe you ought to move to the city too. There's no place like home, but don't do anything dangerous, eh? Oh, trust me, I don't. I make sure to keep well clear of the tower, and when more monsters emerge from it, I heed the Radiant Host's instructions. I hope they deal with it soon so we can get back to our normal lives, to the days when you could earn as much as you gave and tuck into a meal satisfied that you did good work. Speaking of meals, why not have some fresh fish today? Those days will come again before you know it. Till then, stay safe. Let's go. Fresh fish, you say? Oh, you're a fishmonger. When you bait me like that, how can I not bite? Very well, give me some of your fish. Thank you for your custom. The catch of the day is shallows cod. Detectable skewed in coconut milk or baked with whatever. Hey, we made a sale. We're teaching the kids out here, you know, that sometimes you just gotta do a little wordsmithing and you don't know what you've been missing. Some people just got it like that. Social cues. Not me. Did I attune to this etherite? I am hopelessly stupid. Yes, I did. I remember this. All I'm saying is Shadowbringer started very heavy. Like really crazy heavy. A hawker, are you? Do you sell fruit by chance? If so, I want to buy some Arma. Let's say it doesn't. They don't need to be export quality. Arma Shamara, my fresh fish is the only thing you'll need. What do you need so many Amara for? Why, for eating, of course. This may seem like a lot, but of late, I go through that much in no time at all. I'm a stock trader taker by trade, but with no vessels coming these days, the wares are beginning to pile up. Oh, shoot. All of it wears me down, and I find myself feeling constantly hungry. I know how you feel. Are you sure you're actually hungry? Thank you. A pity you don't sell fruit, but I enjoyed our little chat. It took my mind off of troubles for a moment. Oh, no. Never mind, if nothing else, you left her with a positive impression. Let's move on to the north side of town, shall we? Yo! This game teaching me how to be like a little, like, bastard. Like a little Tyrion Lannister in this bitch. It's a nice, colorful little town here. It's just a little dark because it's a cloudy overcast. Try to explain what that is. Explain that one. Basama. Basama. Okay, that was easy. What is it? If you don't mind, I'm rather busy. Oh my God, it's my stomach. Ugh. Ether sickness? No, nothing so unusual. In my hurry to get back to work, I just ate a little too quickly. You should take it easier, eat more slowly, and savor your food. I would if I could, but I can't afford to be idle. Like as not, circumstances will surely get worse before they get better. And so I'm working as hard as I can while I still can, the better to be prepared. How do you intend to prepare? By stockpiling supplies. For that, I need to earn coins so I can buy food, medicine, what have you. Oh, we do have some dried products too. The Vanadium cucumber and others. They're the last of the batch, so if you're interested, you can have them for a discount. Truly, by all means, I'll take them all. Capitalism! If you remember what I told you earlier, that I preserve what I catch, which serves to show the importance of being attentive. Thank you so much for your demonstration. It was truly an eye-opening experience. Come, let us return to the pier. This elephant is creeping me out. I'm kind of creeped out by it. Not gonna lie. Probably went the long way around. I certainly did. Not very smart, but we're going to commit to this mistake. Thank you so much for showing me how to talk to customers. You've managed to sell 2 of the 3 people you approached. Adventurers do indeed have great conversational skills. Watching you at work was very enlightening. By applying the lessons I've learned, I hope to one day peddle as well as you. Still, there's only so much I can do alone. I hope that things will return to normal for XiV soon. I thought I heard a familiar voice. And who should it be but Mastia? What? Oh. XiV, have you finished your business at the guild? So you were there too. Forgive me, try as I might, I can't find any buyers. With no ships coming in and hardly any going out, there aren't simply any options at this rate. So, you can't buy my fish anymore? I'm sorry, Matsuya, I sure am, but for now you must peddle your own goods. But by myself I can't. I want to help you, I do, but as it stands, I can barely help myself. I poured my all into the consorium, and I'll be damned if I let it fall apart. I have friends and families depending on me, and I won't fail them. The sisters as my witness. It's all about money! The root of all evil, Kazal. Not to worry, I'm using what I've learned you. I'm sure I'll manage, somehow. Well, I had best return to my village. My thanks again, and please take care on the road. We all just out here doing the MSQ. From a distance, I thought you to be a fishmonger, but now that I behold you up close, it is clear you don't hail from these parts. Odd as your garments are, however, even I can tell that they were made for hard work. Lucky for you, I have just a task. Yes, we're gonna go kill stuff. And I mean to make a necklace for an acquaintance of mine, but my design calls for shells pulled from the vicious Chapa. As fine a crafter that I am afraid that hunting is quite outside of my wheelhouse. If you do the rough work in my stead, it would be well compensated for your time, and I have my undying gratitude besides. I require 2 shells from the hulking beasts. A simple feat for one such as you, surely. Yeah, let's go kill some things. Where are we at? Where are we going? I forgot that I had a chocobo. You there, I take it by the hunger in your eyes that you're in search of work. As luck would have it, I'm in need of assistance and have the coin to make it worth your while. Usually I'd haul these goods ashore myself, but today my back doesn't seem to be amenable to the prospect. If you could help an old merchant out, I reckon we can both sleep today satisfied. Ah, very good, very good. I've marked on the map where the crates are to be delivered. Careful now, the fruits inside bruise easily. Give me a shout once you're done and we'll see about you getting paid. Deliver the crate of fruit to the designated location before the time runs out. You will have 2 minutes to complete the task. Should you fail, return to the starting location and begin anew. Let's go. Where are we going? Am I going the right way? Oh. I'm gonna run out of time. This dude has a dinosaur, what? Hold on. The crate of fruit rests snugly amongst the rest of the shipments. Report your success to XiV. Might as well talk to Ariana, Thanker while I'm here. I see you've been busy. Managed to learn a tidbit or two, I trust? I see. We also heard that the tower is affecting many locals' livelihoods, but to think that would be to such an extent. For another notable, if not wholly unexpected discovery, disappearances and kidnappings are disturbingly commonplace. As before, the culprits are almost certainly tempered Imperial soldiers. And as before, they mean to use their faith of their hapless thralls to call forth the lunar primal. Business as usual for the Telefori. Judging by his furrowed brow, something important has occurred to Estinian. That Matista fellow you were helping, he's Arcasordara, is he not? Apparently 'tis almost exclusively his people that are being kidnapped. Should he be traveling alone? If summoning is this proprietor's aim, it doeth stand to reason that Arcasordara would be their primary targets. For 'tis the faith of their ancestors which prevaileth in this land, and many are devout adherents still. We'd better go after him. Akali lies to the west, as I recall, the same direction as Kryle's apparent acquaintance incidentally. It is settled then. Keep your eyes peeled while we make for the village. We are doing a lot of questing. I would like to kill something now. I would like to go smack on some monsters. The child is looking around, trying to catch the attention of passerbys. Oh, you look fierce, are you? Can you help me find my sister? I guess. She went off to hunt Sotomorg so she can make me chicken tikka. She's so brave, but she's been gone for quite some time. I've never strayed far from the gates, and those beasts look so frightening. She shouldn't be far. Can you find her for me? She has red hair, and she looks so elegant in her hunting garb. She set off to the northwest. I'll be waiting here for you to come back. Hey, what up, Chocobo Keep? Well met, traveler. May I interest you in a Chocobo Porter? Do not tell me this is your first visit to the shop. I shall upgrade my register with your name so that you may access this location in the future. I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need your ish. Hey, we out here now. You do not see Mattia nearby, but the elevated ground up ahead may provide a better vantage point. I'm gonna eat some food first. What's that? Oh. First battle, let's go. Sweet. While the fighting music does not bop as much as Shadowbringers, I can learn to like it. At least it's not Heaven's Ward. It got really tiring really quick. Yeah. You do not see Matsuya from here either. No, leave me alone. Help. Somebody help. Matsuya's voice, and it came from the north. Ooh, these gaja look pretty badass. Got all of them up. Oh, I don't even have my thing up. Japatry. Does anybody know what that word means? I do not. Huh? Where did they go? Why are you here? Alright, back to reading. We've considered many and the others, but fishing is all we know, the ocean is all we have. I see that's your decision to make, but you should take care not to travel alone. 'Tis our understanding that strange fields have emerged from the tower. Can thou blah 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 blah? Not much, I'm afraid. I have no idea what they are, but I've heard that some bear an unsettling resemblance to our divinities. For that reason, some have been taken to calling the tower Zot, House of Divinities. In the old tongue it means. But they are not true divinities. They are monstrous intimidations that bring only death. To have one's faith so twisted is a grievous indignity, and full justified art thou in thine outrage. Know that 'tis no other purpose but to neutralize the tower that we have journeyed to this land. In time we may be forced to contend with these false gods, and thus we would learn all we may about them. Wilt thou not tell us of thy divinities and their true nature? You've come all this way to save us, really? To think I had you peddling fish. But to answer your question, yes, of course, we would gladly tell you about our gods. We, I say, because I'm a terrible storyteller, and I'd ask my fellow villagers to do it. So please come to our village. We're good, gods-fearing folk, all of us, and we'd be honored to share our knowledge, and fish. What sayest thou? Shall we pay a visit to Al-name? Wonderful. Just follow the road west and down the hill. You can't miss it. So, 'twas the simulacra of the Trivenian guards that are not been summoned any doubt exist before. There could be none now. They could not punish or imprisoned in the tower. I pray that we're able to save them. We gotta save a bunch of elephants in the tower. Though indeed saving them will mean confronting their false gods, like as not, as you said, would do well to study their religious traditions to Akali. Man, they're I'm seeing a lot of, man, I don't know. I don't know how to make equivalencies. I think it's interesting. Quiet, you. I'm lying in wait, can't you see? What is it? My sister. Oh, she does worry after me, so I apologize for her imposition. Today is her name day, and I want to do something special for her, so much has gone wrong as of late, and she's managed to always keep a smile on her face. I thought that Stromberg would be a simple prey, but now that I've seen one up close, I can barely bring myself to move. I've never been so afraid, truth be told. But you look as if you've known fear. You could make quick work of the Stromberg, I'm certain. If you don't mind, could you slay the animal for me? I've already set the trap, so one should be along soon enough. Without their meat, I can't hope to make the chicken tikka that my sister adores. Please, if not for me, then do it for her. Man, needy. Where though? Oh. I'm gonna blow the hell out of you. These magics. Yep. That was an inspiring display. Were you able to procure its meat? You were right there! Ah, this is the most delicious part. Thank you. You must let me repay you for your bravery. Please, meet me in the near the city gates where I told my sister to wait. I do hope she hasn't wandered off. Hey, this bops. This song is a bop. Welcome to Alaka, my friend. The name means white beach, and there isn't much here to save that, but please make yourself at home. Your companions have already begun talking to everybody. Feel free to show yourself around and do the same. Any one of us can tell you about our gods, but you could do worse than to start with Ka'anga and Old Hasveda. They're free at the moment as it happens. I'm wondering. It's been like really cloudy. It's been cloudy outside for real in real life. You wish to know about our gods? What a curious visitor you are. Most want fish. In any case, I'm happy to oblige. Now, I don't know what it is whence you hail, but our isle is home to many gods. They can be divided into two groups, the Mansuya, the beings of wisdom who assume the form of men, and the Mirga, beings of might who assume the form of beasts. Together they are divinities, their forms and personalities many and varied. Some are kind and gentle, others stern and temperamental, just like we mortals can be. All are possess of great insight and experience. By heeding their teachings, we survive to be better people and live better lives. Interested in learning about our gods, you say? That's what I like to hear. Prick up your ears then and listen. In ancient times, the Mansuya and the Murga, deities who look like men and beasts respectively, were locked in conflict. Eventually seeking the wisdom from Mansuya, the Mirga cast aside their own heads and took up those of their foes. Likewise, the Mansuya coveted the might of the Mirga, so they too resolved to trade heads. Thus were born new gods possessed of both might and wisdom, and they ushered in an age of harmony between the two factions. From then on, as a sign of their esteem for one another, the Mansuya have worn animal faces and the Mirgas the limbs of men. Interesting. So they beefed and then they're boys and now they're like repping each other's city. There you are. Learned a thing or two about our gods, I trust. Yeah, they're all fake, bruh. While you're off talking to the others, I remember something that may be of interest. If you could, let your friends know. I'll go fetch it from my home at once. By all means, oh my god, I was looking at Twitch. Idiot. Actually, I was looking at the time. Hey, it's the three Magus sisters. They're Monsoya, they heard about them already, the three sisters. Interesting. The center one is the eldest, Sinjuria, goddess of wisdom. For this, the alchemist hold her in the highest. To her right is her middle sister, Savarura, the goddess of wealth. She counts as many traders among her followers. And to the left is Minjurafura, the youngest sibling. She presides over the crafts, and so is beloved by the wares. Though each is worshipped for different reasons, the sisters are usually portrayed together in these works, which people keep in their homes for good fortune. It's the Magnus sisters, right? In like fashion to the Mansoya, the deities of Eorzea preside over myriad aspects of life. And one of the Murgia, if I may ask, the Mirga hold power over nature. In ages past, they were revered as guardian deities in times of conflict. If you have the occasion to visit our temples and ruins, you'll find their images there. Among them is a god who possesses the Gaja's hand, and he is venerated. And then there are the dragons. They occupy a special place in our history. Oh my god, 8 dragons. You worship dragons too? It is said that an ancestor of the Statrap, that is the ruler of Hazanhan, forged a covenant with a dragon divinity in ancient times. Shit! I'm skipping through shit. Dragon ally. Stop pressing the X button. You claim to be a terrible storyteller, but nothing could be further from the truth. Got him. The passion you bear for your faith is plain to hear. I'm confident that the information you've given us will serve us well in our efforts to deal with the tower. That is very kind of you to say. Thank you. I will pray for your success. Right, I believe it is time we sought out Kryle's acquaintance, an alchemist by the name of Nidhana. According to Kryle's notes, we were to find her at a place called the Great Work, further north along the coast. Well, I can't think of a better way to cut y'all loose because I've got stuff to do. It starts now. I needed to get a little bit in before this weekend gets crazy. So, thank you all for joining me. Thank everybody for watching on the download. It's the holiday season, and we're going to be playing Endwalker. Take care. Peace.